4 things that I learned today: that anytime that someone's treating you in a way that is not deserved, just tune into God and say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And send it to the universe. And if you do it long enough, you will see a shift. Hello to all of you Soulful Intuitives, and welcome back. I want to thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And with further ado, let's go talk about today's subject. I was thinking about the narcissistic behavior that most people deal with in their relationships, either in their family circles or friends or at work. But I still want to come across one person who hasn't had dealings with a narcissistic person. And as someone who has experienced with this behavior pretty much all my life, I wanted to talk about what one of the narcissistic strategies that the narcissists do in order to divide and rule. And it's very important to realize that narcissists are hungry for energy, and they become very good at spotting who they can exactly suck out of their vital energy. It's called Narcissistic Supply. And they typically are very much into spotting empaths, because the empaths have this ability to see people and feel them and see the potential of what they can help create and mold, and therefore they usually miss the signs, the alarm, the alerts that have to go off for most of us when we come across such personality disorders. And so narcissists know that if people around them clue in on their behavior and what they're after, which is your energy, and they unite, they will lose the battle. So they become very good at being manipulative, at always creating rifts between you and other people around them. So let's say in a family situation, a narcissistic parent or parents can get very good at creating divisions between the siblings or between their kids, because if these kids clue in and they got together, they will lose the battle. And how they do is they favor one kid. Golden child is typically what they go for. And then there's a scapegoat, and there is a forgotten child if there's 3. And sometimes one person carries forgotten child and scapegoat together. And depending on who they benefit more of calling you golden child, these roles might reverse. So the golden child, of course, benefits from being favored. And by being favored, you might have better quality time with that parent. You might have perks, financial perks. You might get emotional perks. You might get different behavior. Like, for example, the narcissistic rage, which is one of the perks of dealing with a narcissist when you're not the golden child or the favored character, is something that the golden child doesn't necessarily deal with. And the narcissists get very good at letting the golden child know why, let's say, that person got the narcissist's wrath, and convincing the golden person, the golden child, that, I mean, that's not who I am. I'm not that bad of a person, but I mean, look at what they're doing. And narcissists are so good at lying. They're so good at being manipulative that the golden child almost never sees it until the tables are turned. And sometimes the tables are turned because that golden child is no longer benefiting the narcissist. It doesn't mean that the narcissist actually is capable of feeling like, I love this golden child. No. The golden child is benefiting the narcissist. Therefore, the narcissist creates the scenario where the golden child feels favor and feels loved. And the golden child, deep down, knows what's happening around them. But the narcissist is better. And guess what? The parents are always better at manipulating the kids because they read your manual. They've had you since day one, but you didn't have your parents since day one. You've had your parents when they were adults. So the parents know exactly how to manipulate you, and what they do, unfortunately, in a lot of these family situations is the golden child falls for this fallacy of they're better, and they get very good and comfortable at enjoying the perks. And at times where they see the injustice and they raise an issue, the narcissist comes with a loaded gun and is so good at taking one kernel of truth and weaving it with such complex lies that the golden child can't even decipher this word salad that they were just fed, because the narcissists are very good at word salad. I have dealt with it, and I remember, in my early childhood where this narcissist was talking, and so this narcissist friends would always tell this person that, you know what, you use a lot of words, but nothing comes out of it. We don't know what you just said. But narcissist is really good at throwing these words and just getting you so confused that usually at the end of that conversation, you're agreeing, but really that nod is just you being confused. But the narcissist is so good at guiding that conversation, and it's so good at creating this smoke all around you that you don't even know what you're agreeing with. All you know is you recognize that one kernel of truth that the narcissist always has in their lives. There's always a bit of a truth, like a kernel, like small, so they can get your attention. And then the part that you don't understand, the part that was meant to confuse you, which is a bunch of lies, you're like, well, I guess if that's true, then these other BS comments are also true as well. And so what they do is, by dividing the family or their circles, a friend or people at work, that they can rule. And they're very good at making you feel when you're talking to you that they're just being very genuine, and what they're doing is really for everyone's good. And people get very confused and people fall for it. And it hurts when at some point the narcissist is done sucking your energy, they found a better supply person, and they spit you out like you never existed. But by then, a lot of these relationships have been severed, and people are not liking each other, because, especially in a family situation where the kids, always have a little bit of rivalry. It happens in every family. And the kids don't understand how to make sense of this injustice, this unjust way of being treated, being ignored, being harassed, being insulted, being violated, being abused. And when they want to go to their siblings for help, that sibling, the golden child, is almost unaware of the hurt and trauma that you've been put through, because that's not their reality. And also because that golden child is always the receiver of the propaganda and the lie machine that the narcissist is very good at. And the narcissist usually has that person's ear all the time. BS, 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 and the power of brainwash. People forget the power of brainwash. I mean, if you talk to any historians, they could tell you how Hitler brainwashed the entire nation. You repeat a lie long enough and people will believe it. And these lies are outrageous too, by the way. And the bigger the lies, the higher chance of people believing it. But that kernel of truth has to be in the center of that propaganda. So my advice to anyone who is dealing with a narcissistic person in their life, whether it's a spouse or a parent or a sibling or a coworker or a friend, is watch out for people around you, the friends that you love, the coworker that you're close with, the siblings that you love, your family members. And if you see that this narcissist is always blowing this person up, whether it's your friend who's so talented and so popular and so beautiful and so smart, everything that you're not, because guess what? You're not the favorite person, or is your brother or your sister who's just everything that they've ever wanted. They've delivered all the dreams and everything that the narcissist wished to have in a child. Or if it's a coworker who is just delivering, and is amazing, and you will never live up to that, to those people. Pause. Don't turn your anger and frustration on the golden person, the favored one. That person is just as a big victim as you are. They just don't know it. And how would you know if you are at the receiving end of favors? You really think that, well, yeah, maybe I have done things that are granting me all these favors. And also, the narcissists are very good at finding flaws in the people that they're bashing. That by the power of brainwash and by exaggerating these flaws and by attaching lies and hearsay and manipulation tactics, that other people will go, yeah, I guess you're right. You are right. Like, he or she did say that. Or did you see how they looked at you the other day? Or did you see what they buy for you? Or did you see what they said about you behind your back? Like, all these things that, like, are lies, or maybe something was said in complete innocence behind your back that didn't mean to bring you down, or wasn't of a gossip nature, or even if it was of a gossip nature, it was completely innocent, because sometimes people gossip and it doesn't mean anything. So the narcissist is super vigilant and super alert, hears everything, sees everything, because they need the details. They need those kernels of truth. So then they can use to their benefit. So they can use to bash you and to bring you down and to manipulate the other people that they need to bring in their favor in order to divide everyone. So be aware. Don't hate your brother. Don't hate your sister. Don't hate your uncle. Don't hate your coworkers. Don't even hate. Just realize that the narcissist is a broken person. They have zero self-awareness. They have zero empathy. And they need the energy to suck the energy out of you in order to survive. So what they're doing is a survival method, but don't fall for it. Don't be the free blood for the vampire. Just realize that that vampire will find someone else to suck, but don't divorce people around you who aren't really the problem. They're just the victims, just like you are. Have sympathy and empathy for them, and know deep in your heart that if you fall for the narcissist's plan, as if you start speaking up and you start asking for your rights and you start calling out the injustice, the narcissist will turn around and go to the golden person and the favorite person and it's like, see, they're jealous of you. See? And these seeds that are very viciously planted then will grow into big bushes of hatred and rift you apart, and you fall exactly where the narcissist planned for you to fall. So don't fall for it. Love is so much more powerful, and in long run, people see that your love made you endure all of that injustice and all of that violation and all of that abuse, and they will finally come to see the end game of the narcissist, which was not based on love, but it was based on lies and based on insecurity and based of just evil, malicious thoughts. And all they wanted was to divide you and rule you and to get a hold of your energy so they can survive and see another day. Love each other. Know someone's gain is so empowering that even the times where we feel human and we feel angry and we feel frustrated and we feel resentful and we feel jealous and we feel like things are not fair, acknowledge those feelings, but don't turn it around and project it onto the victims. Understand where it comes from, acknowledge them, talk to someone so you can vent and sit with that discomfort, but also know that this is a game, and if you make the wrong move, which is usually what people do, and they lash out at the person who is in favor, then they just played into the narcissist hand and they lose that game. And you know what? You only have so many good friends. You only have so many good coworkers. You only have so many good family members who really love you. And it's not their fault that they're being manipulated, because in order to manipulate people, you have to have that thing inside of you that is self-serving, and you have to have the thing inside of you that can just make these decisions that bring people hurt. And mostly people get manipulated because they're not good at manipulating, so they don't see the game, they don't see the structure that is at work. So just please love each other. And I'm going to leave you with 4 things that I learned today, that anytime that someone's treating you in a way that is not deserved, just tune into God and say, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. And send it to the universe. And if you do it long enough, you will see a shift in your relations. And I just learned that from the author of Secret. And he was talking about this Hawaiian school of thought that they do these, like, this is like, and there was an indigenous name for it, which I don't have it memorized now, but the 4 things that he said that he mentioned in his book too, because he's written 3 books about it, that I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, and thank you. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a wonderful day.